Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I just put that blind back and it literally, as soon as I hit play, it's a bit windy today, a bit colder, it's August. Hope you're all having a great day. This video is going to put things into context. And I'm hoping actually that there's a serious side to this. It's involving my parody last night. I'm hoping that this will help other people who are going through very similar things to me. Okay, you want to sit like that blind, be like that blind, that's fine. It's all right, Kat. She's scared because she can see this. And she's wondering, looking at it, she's like, what is that? Firstly, thank you all very much, those of you who have liked, subscribed, those of you who've been with me for a long time through this crazy journey. Newcomers, earthlings, welcome aboard. And if you haven't already subscribed, of course, I would really greatly appreciate that. This channel is primarily about the story of Meghan and Harry. But as a lot of you who watch me know, it's not, there's a reason. There's a reason I follow Meghan and Harry, because I see a form of extremely bad behaviour, of gaslighting, of lying about people, of causing other people pain, unnecessary pain. Now, the parody that I did last night, let's put this into some context. So I bought, look at her, she really, come here, puss. She was meowing throughout the whole thing. She hates this. It's okay, puss. Here we go. Look at this. Yeah, I know you don't like him. You don't like him. Don't worry. Most other members of the family don't like him either. This character, the parody that I did last night, sorry, it's a real character. It's a troll. He has a YouTube channel. I'm not going to name his YouTube channel. I'm not giving him a shout out. He wears a ski mask. Nothing frightening or threatening about that, is there? And he has been stalking, harassing, and threatening me, my family. Well, not so much threatening, actually. That's not really fair or true. Although some people might find it threatening that a stranger in an orange ski mask, perhaps he doesn't realise, because I'm pretty sure he lives in a secure unit. He does videos from some sort of, I don't know, it looks like a government kind of secure unit. It's got that magnolia government colour paint on the walls, you know. And he's the one who did a video from the toilet, and then he dropped the phone revealing the toilet and all sorts. But and yes, it is funny. The parody that I did is that's basically him personified. And actually, it's not just him. There's so much I want to talk about this, because 3 years is a fucking long time, excuse my French, to live with a lunatic like this, stalking, harassing every single member of my family. And it's not just me. There are other YouTube channels, and he does it to them. The reason that I think he sees me as fair game is because this is kind of like a video diary. I've never hidden who I am. My real name is Fiona. I work at the Dolphin Safari, which is in Gibraltar, Rock of Gibraltar. I live in Spain. I have a boat. I have a house. You know, so I from the beginning of starting this channel, I felt it was important for me to let everybody know who I am. Now, I'm not criticising YouTubers who don't want to reveal their identity, and I completely understand why, because otherwise you too can end up with a creep like this. Some people just narrate. All YouTubers have different styles, but I thought long and hard before starting this channel, and I decided this is what I want to do. I want to show everybody who I am, because when I set foot outside my front door, I don't hide my identity. I don't go out shopping wearing something like this. Well, I'd probably be fucking locked up if I did. I wonder if he does. I wonder if he does wear this. Actually, Slimy, I'm going to call him Slimy. I'll tell you something interesting, which you can you maybe do something useful with your time on the internet, creep. Look up a guy called Kurt Godel. He was a genius. He was he was like the Einstein of the day. And he had many theories about time travel. Fascinating guy. But he sort of got really paranoid towards the end of his life. And it was back in the days when people would have worn suits and a shirt and a tie. But Kurt Godel started to wear a balaclava everywhere he went. Not an orange one, I don't think, a black one. You know, out to the shops, walking in the street, and he did it because he was paranoid that he was being watched and stared at. Well, I would imagine that by wearing a balaclava, it would have encouraged and invited people to stare and look. Oh, this creep normally wears sunglasses as well. And he demands to know everybody's private business. I want to know who was born and where. I'm going to buy your birth certificate. Oh, he does. He stalks. He goes to spend hours on the internet. Well, I suppose if you live in a secure facility because you're a mental adult, a patient, that's how you come across, Slimy. That is how you come across. Whether you're intending to or not, I don't know. But I mean, 3 years is a long time. I'll tell you how we inherited him. He's not a sugar. Years ago, a lot of you may remember a man called Alex Belfield. Well, I mean, he's back on YouTube now. He was sent to prison, and it was a big current affairs topical subject. My late husband wanted to do a video about it because he had his own channels, and, you know, he would do videos on topical things, and I begged him not to because I just kind of knew that Alex had stalkers and weirdos, and that's where this creep came from. My husband made one video about Alex Belfield, and we've never got rid of this, and I don't think I ever will. I don't think I'll ever shake this creep. I don't think he's dangerous. I don't believe he's dangerous. He has admitted that he has several mental disorders, and I don't doubt you, mate. I have no doubt. And for context, I'll just put up an actual...
Hi Julianne, sorry for missing some comments. I am struggling to see the screen owing to the sunglasses. Yeah, it's quite dim outside, so it's making it a bit dark, and I am in the corner of my bedroom. I am, let's just say I am away from the PC at the moment.
It's all right, Kat, I'll put the mask away. It's all right, boo-boo, don't be scared. Well, anyway, there's a larger subject, isn't there? Because the problem with this guy is, it's all right. Shh. You want to be on film? Okay. She's very disturbed about it. She doesn't use the internet, you see, so this is all news to her. She wasn't aware of this, he's gonna get you, ooh. It's only a mask, Cat. For some reason, she's terrified of leopard print. Anything. We bought her a cat bed once, which had leopard print. Oh, she went crazy. So leopard dots, they must mean something. It must be like a language to a cat. Anyway, yeah, the major problem with this guy is he has no boundaries whatsoever. I've heard him talk, and I honestly think that, like, no one taught him manners, no one taught him, you are not actually allowed to stick your beak into other people's business. It is not your place. He says stuff like he's doing it all for truth and justice. I mean, so he's there in a very menacing, threatening way on YouTube, threatening my kids, and they do feel threatened, Slimy. You may not intend to threaten them, but you start sticking your beak in and being a creep, it's threatening, dude. It's unacceptable. There are boundaries, mate. Boundaries. Has anyone ever taught you about them? And I kind of feel that this Slimy creep and the orange mask, he kind of personifies trolls in general online, which brings me to the serious side of this. I dare say there are some of you out there who are suffering with online stalkers. Now, stalkers in real life, that's a different thing. Although some of these, like this guy, they start getting into your real life and affecting your real life or affecting your mental health. Just because your stalker or your troll has mental health issues does not give them the right to behave badly and to do this kind of stuff. Now, I'm never going to get rid of this creep, you know. I'm resigned to the fact I'm just stuck with him. So better to laugh, innit? It's better to have a laugh. My parody, it's a short one. It sort of summarises the last 3 years. It's all compact into, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes of this guy's behaviour. That is how he behaves. To him, this is normal. Darling, Slimy, you got to talk to some doctors and stuff, because to everybody else outside, this is not normal. What you're doing is not normal. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. That's why your little YouTube channel is, you know, change your style. Fucking leave me alone for a start, because I'm not that interesting. Why I and Trevor Coult and Glinda the Good, and who else? My children. You know, it's not that fucking interesting. We're already here. Why don't you make up your own content? Why don't you talk about something else? Then you might get some views, you might get some subscribers. You clearly want people to listen to what you've got to say, so say something worthwhile. But getting back to any of you out there who may be victims of this, I mean, there's nothing you can do, really. People say block and ignore. I really fucking hate that phrase because it doesn't work. There is a charity called Paladin for anyone out there. Now, they're a really good charity, and I will pump them. I will put a link to their charity in the comments. I'll put a pinned comment. And basically the advice they give, they actually sit down with the victim, hold their hand, and they say, come on, take a deep breath. We're going to look at what your stalker's been saying online. We're going to look together. Because they say, if you block and ignore, you may miss something critical, and people have been murdered in real life. So, and it's the last thing the police would say to somebody, block and ignore. If it was a real life, you know, I've got a burglar coming to my house, just lock your doors and ignore. You know, they wouldn't fucking say that. So why do people say that online? I mean, not that this guy's threatening, you know. He really isn't. He's annoying. He's malicious. And it's awful, isn't it? So, I thought, for what it's worth, I would share that for anyone else out there who is suffering. And these kind of people, right, they can't half dish it. But you can bet your bottom dollar, I bet this guy shed real tears over my parody. You know, he can come at me. 3 years, baiting, attacking. I do one parody. I did actually see a comment of one of yours, and you said that I'm the troll. Oh, now I'm bullying him. I've got to think about his mental health, have I? 3 fucking years, 2 of which were battling cancer, which we lost. I've got to put up with attack, baiting, until eventually the victim goes, do you know what, fuck off. And then everyone goes, oh, and that's the video clip they'll use. I'm a victim, she's bullying me. Fucking grow some skin. You're going to go out on the internet being a troll, in a mask or otherwise. When your victim throws some shit back in your face, you best eat it up. Yum, yum, yum. With a spoon, hadn't you? So I'm doing this really, really for the benefit of anybody out there, because my son was in fucking stitches at my parody. He thought it was fucking hilarious. My daughter hasn't seen it yet, but I know she will equally laugh. And I can hear Graham laughing from the grave. Because people can only take so much. There's care in the community. It's all very well and good. Nobody wants to see people being locked up when they are harmless. Nobody wants those days. I was actually one of the people when I was a teenager. I'd watch movies about people being locked up for obscene reasons. Oh, they were being locked up because they were gay. They were being locked up because they had some mild personality disorder. I mean, it was horrific. And they would do lobotomies and they would do terrible things. I don't want those days to return. But what I equally don't want, I'm not a fucking doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist, and honest to God, I don't know how to handle this. If I could find out, I'll tell you what I would do if I was inclined to even look. But if I could find out this guy's real identity, I would most likely contact his family and ask them, is he okay? Are you aware that your relative is doing this? And can we help him? What can we do to help him? That is honestly what I would do. I even tried going up on a live, and this guy just came at me, and I'm like, why have you been doing this to me for 3 years? And he went, because of the copyright strike between me and your husband 3 years ago. And I'm like, oh my God. So Graham's actually dead, man. He's dead. So you're continuing this vendetta over a copyright strike with a guy who's dead, and you're punishing his family? I mean, that's unbalanced, mate. That is unbalanced. And I mean, they're multiplying. I'm seeing more and more of these. It's almost like perhaps this guy's inspired a load of other very sick, ill people. And they go, oh, I've got a phone up and have a YouTube channel and all, and I can threaten anybody I like. You know, and YouTube do nothing to, well, it's impossible for them, really, isn't it? The platform is so huge. And I suppose the AI is not sophisticated yet. It can pick up trigger words, but I suppose the AI cannot yet detect the connotation in which something is said, or how this may be offensive, insulting to a human being. So there's limits. There are many community guidelines. Yes, I could go to a lawyer, pay a lawyer, write to YouTube Legal about this guy. But I mean, it's not just this guy. As I say, he personifies basically a lot of very bad behaviour that I see going on. That's not him, you know, other people. I see all kinds of people behaving extremely badly and they seem to think it's acceptable. And then you get poster boys and girls like Meghan and Harry being really viciously bitchy on Oprah and causing their family a lot of distress. And they think that's okay. And then, of course, there are other people who look up to them who then think that's okay. But I emphasise, this guy's not a sugar. I mean, maybe he is. Perhaps this is, you know, the limit of Meghan and Harry fans. I don't know. It's kind of... And there is a little tiny part of me that finds this little psychopath ever so slightly endearing. I would love to know the backstory, you know, what happened in his life that he ended up like that. Because whatever way you look at it, ending up sitting on YouTube, demanding to know the ins and outs of another person's life and stalking and harassing and wearing something like this with sunglasses, that is not a successful life, is it? It reminds me of the song, oh, when I was just a little boy, as I asked my mummy, what will I be? Well, you'll be a fucking loser sitting on YouTube wearing a ski mask, God's sake. You know, the fella's not even monetized, so there is literally no reason for it. There's no motivation for it. So I can only think it's a mental breakdown, or maybe his little bot wasn't smacked enough by his mummy and daddy. Because, I mean, that was a whole argument, wasn't it? Remember, going back a few years, they're like, oh no, oh, must let baby express itself. Oh no, discipline. No, baby must be allowed to say and do what baby likes. Well, that was about 20 years ago, and look where we are now. Baby want to say what baby want to say. And there's literally no fucking manners left. Now, I know I'm not exactly one to watch my P's and Q's. I'm profane. But I do know not to, like, there's a difference when you're profane. You can be profane using it as not a verb, but as an adjective for emphasis, etc. There's a big difference between that and swearing at somebody to be offensive, to be threatening, to be frightening. This guy doesn't swear. I don't think I've ever actually heard him swear. It's just, you know, dude, the mask is sufficient. It's weird. It's really weird. But it's my little pet stalker. Thank God we do not live in the same country. You know, I don't even want to live I would, if I could get away from him further, I would live on a different continent. But I really don't understand these sort of people, and I would love to know the backstory. I mean, maybe he will make a video at some point and he'll say, well, the reason I'm an absolute fucking nutcase is because I had a nervous breakdown. You know, maybe he was abused. Maybe he at one point had lots of stuff and he lost it. Maybe he's got a gambling problem. Maybe he's had a drug addiction. Maybe he's just, you know, not well. But there will be an explanation. It would be lovely to hear the explanation. And Trevor Cool and I we did try. He was invited up on a live and he announced straight away, I ain't staying long, I've come to declare stuff. So, you know, there was like 5 seconds. And then he starts going on at me about some copyright strike from... Right, we all know Alex Belfield was sentenced to, 5 years in prison. He has actually done the entire prison sentence. This began at the beginning of Alex's prison sentence, and it's still going on now. Alex is out. We still have this nutter. And what it was, I will tell you the story of the copyright. I've actually got access to Graham's channel, so I've got all the emails between them and YouTube. Graham did the video about Alex Belfield. He used a picture off the internet. This loony put in a copyright strike saying it was his artwork. Well, it turned out it wasn't his artwork. It wasn't even his artwork. So Graham appealed and said, this doesn't belong to this guy. So YouTube removed the copyright strike. And this guy got mad about that. How dare YouTube take Graham's side? How dare YouTube? And then Graham, this fella started stalking Graham and using Graham's content, and Graham struck him with copyright. Bing, bing, bing. And down went his channel. And then we actually didn't think anything much about him for about 6 months, and then he popped up on Twitter, X. And I remember Graham saying to him on Twitter, oh, I wondered what happened to you. Oh, he's been in our face. So, I mean, this guy, you can now see Harry and Meghan, you know, they God knows what the royal family are supposed to have done to them. You know, gave them millions, privilege, titles, castles, palaces. She went on the royal train, you know, access, fame, fortune, all that. But apparently there was some perceived slight, you know. So it's not just this guy, it's not just Meghan and Harry. I'm sure there are some of you out there suffering. Hang in there, you know, just hang in there. And I just wanted to give everyone a laugh. And as I say, this guy really does personify bad behaviour. It's more than mental health. This is extremely bad behaviour, bad manners. And just on one last note, so can you do me a favour, mate? Just fuck off, leave me alone to live my life, and you go live your life. Right? I'm sorry your life is a failure. I'm sorry you're not a success. I'm sorry you're jealous of my family. You clearly have a bee in your bonnet because Benji got VIP front row tickets at the Formula One. That was to do with his job, his work. He has a very good job. So stop stalking my family. Take the ski mask off. You know, go get some qualifications, get a good fucking job, and then maybe you can get VIP tickets and sit at the Formula One front row with celebrities. Yeah, that's up to you. But taking it out on my Ben, because my Ben is a success and you're a failure, that's really sad, man. Anyway, what more can I say? Well, best revenge, guys, is living a good life. Thank you all very much for listening. And again, thank you for liking and subscribing. And we will get back to Harry and Meghan very, very soon. Well, when they announce the divorce.